Lots of fireworks at Spartan Stadium, but not the kind the green and white expected. The evacuation of Spartan Stadium is our top story at 11. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Greg Adeline.
And I'm Sherry Jones. Now, there wasn't much scoring in the first half of the MSU Western game tonight.
Then, midway through the second quarter, lightning struck. Literally.
Lightning strikes prompted officials to empty more than 70,000 people out of the stadium. Now, here are a couple of pictures from our viewers tonight. Now,
the storm passed. They let people back in, and the game is still underway, but Mother Nature made it a home opener that some Spartan fans will never forget.
6 News reporter Nick Perot was out there when it all went down. We're going to get to him in just a couple of minutes.
But we're going to start with Chief Meteorologist David Young, who's following those storms tonight. And David, have we seen the last of the rough weather this evening?
We have, but what an interesting evening it was. The storms were very isolated in nature as they rolled through, but boy, did they pack a punch. Take a look. We'll take you back as far as the storms go. 8:49 this evening. There were just a few lightning strikes to the southwest of the city, far enough away that the game had not stopped, at least at that point. A little bit closer in time, though, there is Spartan Stadium, and notice just to the west, 1.3 miles away. That's how far the lightning strikes were, and they got even closer with the heavy rainfall that was pouring down. Lightning strikes less than a half a mile away from the stadium. That's certainly well in that danger zone, so no need to wonder why the folks were evacuating the stadium. Now the Doppler shows the showers and storms well south. No threat of any more storms, at least as far as central mid-Michigan. Jackson County, though, continues to see a lot of lightning, some small hail and gusty winds as this is going to push just south of Jackson. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect from Ann Arbor east, but that's more of a concern off to our east as we head into the next 24 hours. Cooler weather builds in and an unbelievable time lapse of the stadium as that rain rolled through. I'll have that for you coming up in just a couple minutes.
All right, looking forward to that. Thank you, David. We're going to continue our top story coverage with the fans' perspective.
Earlier tonight on 6 News at 5, we told you about the possibility of a stadium evacuation, and tonight it happened.
Our Nick Perot was outside Spartan Stadium when it happened and talked to fans who lived through Mother Nature's delay of game.
And now that the weather has quieted down, he joins us now live from outside Spartan Stadium with that side of the story. Nick, how did fans react to this whole thing?
Well, guys, really, it was a back and forth emotion. First, when those evacuations sounded, there was a PA system announcement to take shelter, that there would be a half-hour delay for every lightning strike. So we could see a lot of fans leaving the gates, plenty of law enforcement to help guide them to the exits in case this thing was delayed or even canceled. But an announcement came on later. We'll show you this video, as you can see right now. Once those announcements were heard, hundreds of fans left Spartan Stadium, didn't know where they were going to go, if they were going to go to their car, if they were going to take shelter. Now, I caught up with Michigan State fans and Western Michigan fans, and some of them told me, this being the home opener football season 2013, they weren't going anywhere, and based on some of their responses, they even carried a little bit of sense of humor.
We went and stood in the library for a half an hour.
And you're ready to go back in?
Got to start the game.
Oh, we're heading back in. I came all the way from Kalamazoo, Michigan to root on my Broncos. And we're going to go Broncos. Now, state's tough. We love state too. Go Broncos.
We got to take on some more points here. Right. Made 40 yards offensive progress so far, so we got to see if we get to the third string quarterback.
So as you can hear that, traveling far from Kalamazoo, trying to get that third-string quarterback in for Michigan State. But still fun, plenty of sense of humor out here at Spartan Stadium. They definitely weren't going to let some thunderstorms and lightning strikes bother their home opener. And they said that's the reason they had to stick around for Spartan Stadium. It is the home opener, guys. It's college football season, and they weren't going to leave it for anything. That'll do it for us live at Spartan Stadium. Nick Perot, 6 News.
Well, this wasn't one of those evenings we had big, severe weather, but anytime you have a large group outdoors like you did at Spartan Stadium tonight, a brief heavy rain shower can cause quite a bit of havoc. Take a look at the time lapse. We started this afternoon as the crowd was just beginning to gather and head into Spartan Stadium. You can see them starting to fill up the facility this afternoon into this evening in what looked like a great evening for some football. I'll put a pause point in here. This is just as the storm was approaching the city, moving in from the west, some lightning strikes just appearing. And it was a brief rainfall, but you notice the visibility dropping quite a bit there. This is that heavy rain that get moved in. The lightning strikes less than a half a mile away from the stadium. And so, of course, the evacuation was ordered, and rightfully so with that lightning that close. Certainly could have been a tragic situation. Fortunately, was not. Now, as everyone started to fill back in, well, you heard the news already. A lot of folks decided to head on home, and not very many left out there tonight. In fact, we look at the current live view, and there you can see the crowd still out there as the football game is still going on. 75 degrees, wind's pretty light, so it's a mild evening to finish out what now is a nice football evening. The Capitol camp